Hey, so I just got done watching the second episode of Sword Art Online, and what was interesting about the start of this episode is that it took place on what will be my younger sister's birthday in the year 2022. So that brought a smile to my face. And they also said it's been a month since this whole thing started, and over 2,000 players have died. Again, this mass slaughter, and it's been a month, and they haven't found the guy who has done this. Even though even though there are plenty of pictures of him, like in the first episode, we saw the main character looking at a picture of him in a gaming magazine. So the real, his face is public knowledge. So how haven't people caught him? But I guess that's going to be a plot point later on. But fun episode. Introduced the female character who inevitably is going to be she's the girl that the main character is inevitably going to at some point. Okay, I won't be disgusting. I'm sorry, I'll beep that. I won't be disgusting, sorry, but obviously she's his love interest, and there was one moment in this episode where I could have made a serious innuendo about, but I know there are kids watching, so I won't. Oh gosh. But yeah, no, it was a fine episode. There's a lot of references in this that I think you'd appreciate a lot more if you actively play MMORPGs. I mean, not that you can't enjoy this if you don't play them. It's still entertaining even if you don't play them. But there's certain little like small touches to it that I think you'd only really get if you play MMOs. I'm trying to think of an example now, and everything's going out of my mind. There's this one point where a guy makes his entrance into this meeting they're all having, and he jumps down these rows of seats people are sitting in, and that made me think of when you're playing an MMO and you just see a player who just jumps about everywhere, is just running and hitting the jump button randomly. Don't know if that was meant to be a reference to that, but that's what it made me think of. But yeah, enjoyable episode, and although quite a morbid thought to begin it with, but yeah, it was good, and I look forward to seeing more of this. So don't really know what else I can say except typical of an MMO. When you see a player who's obviously more skilled than you accuse them of being a cheater, or accuse him of having some advantage because he was in the beta test. Again, all these things you appreciate a lot more if you've played an MMO. But yeah, no, it's still good, it's still interesting, and I'm looking forward to watching more. Alright, I just watched episode 3, and oh my, did that get dark. Yeah, this was a dark episode. This was, yeah, don't really know where to begin. Oh, and by the way, a year has passed already? A year has passed and they haven't caught the guy who has done all this. That's a head scratcher to me, but I'm sure it's going to give me an explanation. But yeah, this was a really dark episode. This was looking into, the psychological effect that this can have on being in the scope can have on people, especially inexperienced players. And yeah, this was oh boy, this was dark. But it was an enjoyable episode. I liked little subtle nuances. Well, some of them weren't subtle, but I like nuances to special seasonal events in MMOs. Like they had a Christmas event going on. I appreciated that because if you've played any MMO ever, you know that they have events like that. A lot of them have Easter events going on at the moment, at the time of this recording. So yeah, I appreciated that, and I like little subtle things like little sort of nods and winks to how tanking isn't for the faint of heart, which it isn't. Believe me, if you're new to MMORPGs, you probably don't want to start off as a tank because you will probably get a lot of people mad at you. This is coming from someone who isn't particularly great at tanking. There's a reason I play healer. I can hold my own as DPS, but I'm not great as a tank. But yeah, very, very dark episode, and I imagine it's only going to get darker from here in some areas, so it's going to be interesting. Watching this. Oh, and oh, by the way, this main character, he's getting all the ladies. All the ladies want to be with him. So I don't know if this game has that kind of setting, but alright, this is getting weird. But yeah, good but dark episode. So where it goes from here. Okay, so I just watched episode 4, and okay, I've got mixed feelings about this episode. Alright, things I liked. We started getting more of the main character's backstory. Kibito? Is that Kibito? I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. I'm trying really hard to get it memorized, guys, and I promise in later editions of these I'll be saying it right, or at least be closer than I am now. Yeah, we got a bit more of his backstory, which was interesting to hear, and we got some insight as to what happens in this gaming world in regards to PvP, you know, player versus player, for those who don't know MMO terms, because, well, let's face it, anybody who's played an MMO where you have two separate sides, where you have heroes and villains, and you have PvP servers, we've all just for laughs killed a player just as a laugh at one point. We've all done it, we've all done it as a laugh, some of us apologise, some of us don't. But yeah, we've all done it at some point, but yeah, doing it in this game, that's outright murder. Yeah, this is outright murder, and we established there is a guild in this world in this game that does dedicate themselves to committing crimes against other players and killing other players. That's outright murder! That is, because you die in the game, you die in real life, and one of them tries to justify it by saying there's no proof that you die IRL. If you die in the game. Well, the Game Master said it in the very first episode, and really, yeah, okay, there's no actual proof he was telling the truth, but given your current situation, you kind of have no real choice but to take him at his word. So, yeah, you people are outright murderers. So that's actually a pretty dark thought when you really think about it. These people have actually killed actual people. That's, yeah. Messed up. So, this episode also introduced the Lolita character, although I like to call her the Stephanie Shea character, because Stephanie Shea often voices these characters, and I'm pretty certain she does with this character as well. Oh, gosh, like, you know, at this point in watching anime, I get it, there has to be a Lolita character. I get it, but they just had to do at least one scene where they show her in her underwear. Ugh. Ugh. It's just, like, the thing is, I know perversion is a real problem in Japan. You're not helping people with their pervertedness by feeding their addiction with, you know, people with Lolita complex. You're feeding their addiction, and my phone is ringing. Sorry about that. So yeah, Lolita character, and there was a scene where we see her in her underpants. But like I was saying, yeah, I know perversion is a serious problem in Japan. You're not helping people with this complex by feeding it. You know, try and engage people with an interesting story and not with gratuitous fan service of a character who looks very underage. Probably is very underage. But still, I guess the counter-argument to that is better they take these lustings out on someone who's fictional than somebody who's real, which actually is a fair point, but I still don't think you should be feeding perversion like that. But that's a debate for another time, but that was the only major thing that annoyed me about this episode. It's like, I don't want to see her pants, I don't want to see that. It's like, why couldn't you just given her cute pajamas when she's sleeping? That's... whatever. Whatever, like, it's par for the course, I just kind of accept it at this point. But, besides that, that was... Oh! And I've just remembered, pretty much every single monster that attacked her had tentacles. I'm gonna let that sink in. Every monster that attacked the Lolita had tentacles. But, disregarding that, it was an alright episode, and I liked getting more backstory into our protagonist and finding out who he was in the real world. That was good. And I liked the addressing PvP thing. That was also good. feeding the lolly complex stuff, that was not good. But otherwise, it was fine. It was fine. I won't harp on this point for too long. Let's just forget about it, although I'm sure this character's going to come back and there's probably going to be more fan service with her and I'm probably going to throw up, but let's forget about it and move on. Yep, that was a butt shot. This episode seemed to have a fascination with the buttocks. Anyway, before I get into this quick correction of what I said in yesterday's video when I said the Lolita character that was introduced there was voiced by Stephanie Sheh, that was in fact incorrect. That character was voiced by Christine Marie Cabanos. I probably said that last name wrong, I'm very sorry. Yeah, sorry, that was incorrect. I know Stephanie Sheh does do a voice in this series, but it wasn't of the character who I said. So there we go, I corrected myself, so you can cool your jets if you hate comments. Anyway, okay, so... Alright, so this was a good episode. This was interesting. This was a murder mystery episode, and it's ended on kind of a cliffhanger, so... you know, I've got to watch the next episode if I want to find out what's happened, what's going to happen. Probably watch that in a bit. But yeah, no, this was a good episode, though one thing that was bothering me, and it's not really a huge deal, it's kind of a nitpick really, for me. It's just the way the story is pacing. There seem to be like massive leaps forward, like through time, and it didn't really bother me in the previous episodes, but in this one it's just like, the heroine character, Asuna, who we met in the second episode, who was kind of noobish, is now a professional player, and they briefly touch on the fact that since Kirito, I think I said it right this time, they do touch on it lightly that the last time we saw her she was kind of a noob and now she's, you know, uber elite. They kind of touch on it, but I think it would have been better if we had seen something like in between where he finally sees her again for the first time. It's like, oh hey, you've joined the best guild and now you're their second in command. Oh, wow, what happened in the time you were gone? You know, I would have preferred it if there'd been, yeah, just one episode doing something like that in between these episodes. But like I say, it's a nitpick. It's really just a little hang up for me, and honestly, it's not too bad. It's fine. So yeah, no, this episode was good. I enjoyed it, and looking forward to seeing what happens in the next part of it all. But guys, seriously, cool it with the buttock shots. Seriously. Okay, I think the anime actually heard what I said in the previous video I just recorded, because I said cool it with the butt shots, and it did! It did! There weren't any rear end shots in this episode, so it heard me. It's, stop reading my mind! But yeah, this was obviously the second part and the conclusion to the murder mystery story. It was a very interesting twist, and yeah, it was kind of a messed up reason why, well, I don't want to give spoilers, but there was some, like, messed up stuff there. For a minute there, I thought I was watching Higurashi again. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, no, it was a good resolution. I did enjoy it. It was, yeah, not really heck of a lot else I can say. I will say this, you know, I'm liking the characters so far. I am enjoying them, but thing is about Asuna, like, I'm not saying I dislike her, I'm really not. I do like her as a character, but I'm not quite seeing at the moment, like, what makes her so unique that warrants her, you know, immense popularity she has, because, believe me, she has immense popularity. I've seen it around the net and around conventions and stuff, but, you know, she's only been in, like, 3 episodes so far, so... so I've still got plenty more to see, you know, how she grows and develops as a character, and see what it is about her that makes people love her so much. But yeah, no, good episode, good resolution to the whole murder mystery thing, and we'll see what happens next. Okay, just a quick note to end this video on. So, when I was recording my thoughts and opinions as I finished the episodes, I realised that those videos were actually a bit longer than I thought they would be, so therefore the overall video was longer than I thought it would be, and I thought that if I keep this up, then I'm just going to get a really, really long video that, you know, people are probably going to get bored of partway through. So what I'm going to do, I am still going to do all these videos about each of the episodes, don't worry, I'm not ending it here, but what I'm going to do is just do it in parts, like, just do it like a chunk of episodes at a time. So I don't know, maybe this was covering 5 episodes, wasn't it? So maybe I'll just, I think there's 25 episodes, I think that's right. Could be wrong, might be 24, I don't know, but what I'm thinking of doing is doing these journeys like in chunks of episodes, so therefore I can get content out more quickly and these videos don't become so long that you just lose interest partway through. So that's what I'm going to do. So don't worry, the journey for the rest of the series is coming. There's probably going to be like 4 or 5 other parts, 3 or 4 other parts. Can't do the math at the moment. But yeah, no, they are coming, so don't panic that this has just ended on episode 6. They are coming, don't worry about that. So, I'll see everybody later.